Good afternoon and welcome back to those of you who have been with us over this 7-day journey, and welcome to those who are joining us today. On behalf of the Association to Preserve the Eatonville Community, I want to welcome you. This is N.Y. Nathiri, and I work as the Executive Director. I want to say what a fulfilling 7 days this has been for our organization. We are so pleased that in the public square, there has been an embrace of this Kwanzaa programming. Today, we are looking at faith, Imani, which is the last principle. I want to give Sydney Rose McCall an opportunity to say a few words if she is on with us. If not, she is our, all right.
Hello.
Imani.
Just making sure I'm on the right page for our final day.
Yes.
So Imani, which is faith. The last principle of Kwanzaa is Imani. Imani, which is symbolized by lighting the last green candle of the Kinara, teaches us to have an unyielding faith in our Creator and our people. Life is unpredictable. Our circumstances change from day to day. One moment we are on top of the world, enjoying the bounty of success. The next moment, we must deal with the anguish of defeat. As expressed by the poet Maya Angelou, quote, "There are many incidents which can eviscerate the stalwart and bring the mighty down," end quote. In order to survive in this ever-changing environment, we must be guided and strengthened by faith. Faith gives us a space in the storms of life.
And thank you for that reading. I want to supplement that with something that I pulled from a Google search, which said that faith is to believe with all our heart in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. I think that certainly, given the reading that you just did and the comments by the late Dr. Maya Angelou, that certainly complements. I want to recognize and welcome Miss Josephine Fulcher Anderson. So good to see you. I thought I would start by at least sharing something that Professor Cheryl Nelson, who is not able to be with us this afternoon, but she sent to me and asked me to share with you all Hebrews 11. This is from the King James Version. Hebrews 11 verses 1 through 3. I'll also read for you the New Living Translation. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. And now from the New Living Translation, great examples of faith. Faith shows the reality of what we hope for. It is the evidence of things we cannot see. Through their faith, the people in days of old earned a good reputation. By faith, we understand that the entire universe was formed at God's command, that what we now see did not come from anything that can be seen. It's a wonderful way of expressing that which is incandescent, but which ultimately allows us to survive and thrive, even in the worst of times. I thought that as we are looking at this as a town hall at a time when we are going to share our thoughts and hopefully build upon what we're hearing from one another, that we might look at at our individual sources of strength. In other words, for us as believers in faith or people who have faith, how is it that we sustain ourselves? And I want to start with, I think, our elder here, and that is Miss Josephine.
Oh, Habaragani.
Imani.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. And I'm so glad to again be a part of the family. Faith, I'm glad Sister Cheryl sent that in because that's one of my favorites. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And we see the Hebrew chapter I see it as the faith chapter. Faith for me is believing in God that He will see me through, believing in God through the power of the Holy Spirit, that whatever I ask, and it is in line with what He has for my destiny, it will come to pass. For example, I grew up in Perry, Georgia, 7 children, 3-room house, raised by my grandmother and my father. And my dad used to say, whatever you do, get a good education. They cannot take that away from you. So you're looking at these, 7 people in these 3 rooms, and he's talking about going to college. We went to a segregated school, but the love in the community, the faith that the deacons and the preachers and our teachers had in us, in God, and then in us, it helped me to grow and to believe that the word said that I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me. So as I continue to grow, and I did go to college, got several degrees. Faith. Working as a single parent, how are you going to pay the light bill? How are you going to? It's going to work. My son, Mama, I want to go on a trip with the school. Don't have my. I believe. Work hard, earn money, put money aside. I'm a planner. I love planning and organizing. But the thing for me, my sisters and brothers, is to trust God with all my heart and lean not on my own understanding. He said, in all my ways, acknowledge Him, and He will direct my path. So I've had some ups and some downs, and I still trust God, because by trusting God, I trust and believe in myself. The nurturing that I had from my grandmother and the community and the people in Oakfield Baptist Church in Perry, Georgia, helped me to be the 75 this year, April 26th. Helped me to be the woman I am today. My faith, for me, my grandmother taught us how to give back to the community. I used to think, she'd have a pot of soup or fry one chicken and cut it up in 15 pieces. And someone stopped by and it's just like, oh, come on in and eat. I'm just like, we don't have enough for us, But again, she stressed it. I can go on. Faith to me is just knowing that God is going to make everything right. And I try my best to treat people the way I want to be treated. And I'm striving just to be a better person every day. And I always come with my hands open and my heart open. And I have the faith that God would do the rest. I trust Him and lean not on my own understanding.
That's a wonderful way to start us. It's a wonderful way to start us. Why don't we've talked with our eldest, why don't we ask our youngest at this point, Sydney Rose McCall, to talk about what faith means to you?
So I think in the last year, with everything that's happened in 2020, that was a year where faith was tested. I think being in grad school and all of a sudden our professors telling us we had to go home, and having adopted 2 cats and then trying to figure out how on earth am I supposed to like transport all of my stuff with my cats, with all of my end of the year projects and end of the year essays. How on earth am I supposed to do this? And I remember when my father and my mother came up to Tallahassee, to Florida A&M University to help me pack, they said, everything's gonna be okay. You are not alone. You don't have to be in this space alone. You don't have to panic. You can lean on us. You can ask for help. And even having grown up in a space where I always felt comfortable asking for things, whether it was a new toy or a new book, always a new book. I didn't often ask them for help. I would go to everybody else before going to my parents. And that was just because I think I felt that I had to carry it all on my own. I had to be the best possible. And if I asked for help, that meant I wasn't being the best. But this year has shown me that it takes a lot of strength to ask for help. And it takes a lot of strength to tell somebody, I need a break or I need time. And for me, faith is having strength and also having a community around you, whether it's your parents, your siblings, or very good and near and dear friends who you can depend upon and feel comfortable asking for help. So with everything going on this year, with my faith being tested, I was so blessed to be able to be at home with my parents and my cats, and have this reprieve, this second wave of faith because of seeing the strength in both my parents and everything going on in the world. And they still were able to maintain positive feelings, not just for me, but for each other and for our neighbors and our community, and looking for ways to help other people. And that encouraged me in my own work to keep trying and to keep pushing forward. So faith for me is community and love.
All right, Terry Olson, you have been with us now for since Monday. Did you not join us on Monday?
Yeah, I think so.
And you've stuck right with us, and I'm really pleased that you have done that, and I'm glad that you agreed to join us in this town hall. So it's your turn to talk about what faith means to you.
So I figured you're going from the superlatives, oldest, the youngest, the whitest.
No, it's just that, you're the third. You're third in play.
Well,
you're in the middle. You're in the middle.
It probably works, So faith, I think, is at the core of being able to love your neighbor as yourself. So I look at 3 areas: security, significance, and satisfaction. And when I know that the creator of the universe is going to take care of me, loves me, which makes me pretty significant, and is the source of satisfaction, then I have faith in that, because it is the evidence of things not seen. Then I don't have to be greedily worrying about money for my security, about worrying about pleasing other people for my significance, and seeking experiences, adrenaline, whatever, for satisfaction. So I think faith is very important in allowing us to embrace people who are different than us, to love our neighbors that maybe are a different skin color, maybe are a different culture, maybe are a different lifestyle, maybe are different from us, because we have a natural tendency to want to be with people that are like us. So faith in all the principles of Kwanzaa, I think is a basis that allows that community, allows that economic cooperation, etc. So faith is very important to me.
All right. Ms. Pamela, would you share with us? Are you on mute? You're on mute right now? Yes, there you are.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. So in a similar vein to what others have already said thus far, faith for me definitely does represent recognizing and understanding that there definitely is a higher power and that there definitely is a creator. But in addition to that, I would say faith also represents understanding that we're all so much more capable than we sometimes think we are. And having that understanding and realizing that you need to reach for your highest potential and the most that you can achieve in life and for others as for yourself.
Thank you. And Ms. Sandra McCall, I see your book. Your daughter talked about always looking for a new book. How appropriate it is that you have a book on the screen. Would you like to share with us what faith means to you?
Yes. Thank you for hosting this amazing event this week for Kwanzaa. It's been just such a gift to me. So thank you. Just in line with what everyone else has said, faith is really believing in what you cannot see. This year has, I think, tested all of our faith and ideally strengthened it. We did not know in March that we would be where we are today. And we're all still here. And even those that are not with us, we can take from the journey. We've lost quite a few family members this year, but we take from this the strength that our families had. As this happened, as things were happening, it brought us together in different ways, but we were brought together in ways that we couldn't even imagine. This is a new journey for all of us. And we're here. God has brought us to this place today, to today. We have so much to offer the world. We have so much to be thankful for. So as someone said, we need to, faith isn't just believing in what's unseen, but it's also, looking internally and pulling from us what we think we're not even capable of. And I look forward to that. I'm thankful for my family, for my friends, for this community, and that I didn't even know that we would have a Kwanzaa celebration and that I would be a part of it, 3 weeks ago. So it's amazing how God puts things in your path that you don't even know you need. And that's what faith is being present, being open, being available to receive his blessings when they present themselves. So I'm again thankful for this, and Thank you, NY, and the Eatonville community.
Well, we are so pleased that as an organization, we have been able to find our place in the public square because clearly we all need this connectivity. We need to be able to know that we're not alone, and that actually we can support each other even as we must be apart from each other. I wanted to ask, I see Norman has moved away. I was going to ask him, but Isaac Terry, are you there, Norman? Mr. Norman, are you there? Yes. Would you like to?
Yes, I am. I'm here.
Please go ahead and share with us what faith means to you.
Okay, first of all, I want to say that I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I've been on board ever since Monday. I would have been present Sunday, I believe, but when I went to search to find out what was going on with the festival, then I found out that, of course, this was happening. Faith to me is, first of all, faith is trust. And we have to have a trust in the Creator. And we also have to have trust in ourselves, in our community, and our race. I would say that when Zora Neale Hurston was upon the planet, there were many folk that did not have faith in her. But because of Zora Neale Hurston, we find ourselves present today on this virtual platform. And to give you a little example of having faith in self, it deals with my education. In my youth, going through a public school system in Philadelphia, I struggled. I struggled with my subjects, but I had faith in myself to the extent that I said that I wanted to have a college degree. That happened, and that was because I kept pushing. And one of the things that helped me greatly was the fact that I attended Bluefield State College in Bluefield, West Virginia from 1960 to 1964. And Bluefield State College is maybe university now, is known as the whitest HBCU in the nation. And when I got to Bluefield State College, HBCU, I would say that 95% of the student body, as well as faculty, were Afro-American. And the faculty, they believed in the students, and they had trust that if they would help us in the future, we would be able to help those with whom we came into contact with. So one of the stories there is that being ill-equipped, when the instructors found out that I was striving, sometimes they would have me come to their homes on the weekend, shovel snow, rake leaves, wash dishes, give me a little stipend, and plus tutor me. So after my, right around the time of my sophomore year, I got my wings together and I was able to move on. And this was because I had faith in myself, the faculty, and this is just one of the stories, and the faculty had faith in the students. because they knew what the struggle would be for us in the future. And I'll just end it there. Thank you.
Thank you. Your comments really remind me of when I was teaching in at a community college, and I would always tell the students that nothing as a dumb question, and even as we interact with our young people today, and especially understanding that this year will put some of our students, specifically students in Eatonville and other African American communities, it will place them 2-3 years behind. This is what we're being told. So it's going to be very important for students to know that it's important to persevere, and that it may take me longer to learn something than my peer, but as long as I persevere, as long as I continue, that I can make that knowledge my own. I think that that's going to be a very important, when you talk about faith in yourself as an individual, and we've heard this now several times. I think that it's going to be important for us to, in whichever ways that we can, to convey that to our young people. Colette Carter, I believe that you wanted to say something. Would you unmic? Go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Carter, and I knew about the festival, but I didn't know that you guys were having a Kwanzaa celebration every day that I hear now. But it was faith that brought me to my phone and looked up ZORA, because I knew that it was about to happen, and because it's January 1st. And so it was number faith that got me on this Zoom today. Okay. And I'm celebrating Imani, which is faith, and I'm cooking food and, getting ready to pack the food up for my son to come pick it up for his family. And I just have faith. It was just faith that I got on this Zoom today. And I believe in faith. You gotta, like you said, believe in yourself. Believe and just be strong in your conviction. It was just faith that I'm still here in 2021. It's still going to be a fight ahead, because it's what we're dealing with now is not over, but we did make it to the new year. And our brothers and sisters who didn't make it to the new year, we have faith that their families are healing and getting stronger, and not questioning why it happened to somebody in their family, because I lost people in my family also. But I just have to have faith and remember them from our relationship. So that's all I want to say. And I'm excited to be on here.
And where are you from, Ms. Carter?
Well, I'm originally a New Yorker. I grew up in New York, and I moved to Atlanta, Georgia 20 years ago. So I'm an apple peach.
All righty. We're going in order. Isaac Terry, I think you have been with us, if not all the time, at least 5 of the days. I remember seeing your name. Would you share with us, please?
Sure. Yeah, I've been with you guys for all 7 days.
All 7 days.
I agree with what everyone has said. And just to add to that, believing in a higher power, trusting in God, right? And, not necessarily knowing where he's going to take you, but you just have that faith that, okay, I'm here for the moment and something's going to happen. So I think it was 3 years ago, my family was going on a cruise out of Port Canaveral, and we stopped in Orlando, and we, were driving through. I don't know where we were driving, and we ended up at the museum. And I guess I put my email down on a sign-in sheet or something, And that was 3 years ago. And so here we are in the pandemic, and I just was looking through emails. I don't ever remember receiving anything from you guys. And probably a week or so ago, I've seen this email, and I was like, oh, what is this? So I decided to join in. I am in California. I'm born and raised in San Francisco, but I live about 70 miles east of the city. And, as Sister Sandra said, receiving the blessing. It has been truly a blessing for me to share these last 7 days with you guys. And I thank you for that.
That is, thank you. It's very touching to me personally to actually hear confirmed how important the work that we do as an organization is on an individual basis. It's just really, it actually makes it all worthwhile. That may sound, corny or hokey, but it really is the case. When people say from their perspective what it means. When Ms. Carter says, it's January and it's time for the ZORA Neil Hurston Festival, it means a good deal. It means this is something that you can quantify, but you can also really attach a great emotional value to it. I want to ask our team member, our sister from Atlanta, Terry Vismil-Morris is on the line, and I'd like to ask you to share what faith means for you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
So glad to be here. I'm not in a place, I'm moving around, but I'm glad I was able to catch this last day of the Kwanzaa celebration. Imani, faith. I have faith that we as an organized group of African Americans can truly reimagine how we can live in a divisive situation in a country like America. I think that the pandemic has tested everyone's faith to limits we would have never imagined, but it's also offered us an opportunity to connect in different ways. And now through a virtual setting, we are connecting, many of us are connecting with people we haven't connected with in ages, and we're connecting with new people who have brought new energy and vision into our spaces. So I have faith. I woke up this morning and I felt a lot better. Not that I was feeling bad, but I did feel a lot better. Maybe because it is 2021. Maybe because we've been through so much. But I think faith is the backbone of what strong people, strong communities have in order to move forward. And I'm just happy to be here. Even these gatherings, to be able to express yourself in different spaces, it just makes you really, it's a part of a healing process, I guess. Let me just say, it's part of a healing process, and it energizes me to be in these types of groups. And I commend PEC, although I've been working off and on with PEC for many moves, but I commend PEC for having the forethought and how they persevere and move forward with all that they do. And I especially want to say that the work that PEC has done, especially with providing in this setting access to Wi-Fi, emphasizing technology is pivotal, and I champion that and hope that we as an organized group can help PEC carry on in that respect and many other respects. But I have faith that PEC can continue to do that.
Thank you. And if that was a softball for me to go into the commercial, I want to thank you. But I also want to say something a little bit more than that. I believe that faith allows you to see that faith is the foundation. And in other words, if you look, if you observe, if you explore past history in a number of settings, you can see how people believing their firm belief in higher power, if you want to say, we who are believers say God, that you can see how faith has had an impact, a significant impact in the world, in the course of humanity, in the course of civilization. But certainly, if you look at Preserve Eatonville community, you see that we have, as the saying is, come this far by faith. Absolutely. I can tell you that many a grandmother has made the kinds of contributions that have allowed this organization to stand, right? No, we have not yet received $1 million donation. We haven't received that. But over time, if you look at our 990s, you'll see that we have been able to not only survive, but thrive. And what that means is it gives us the faith to know that we can continue. That's what I'm really trying to get at when I say that faith can allow you in concrete ways to know that the struggle is worth it if you persevere. And so as we plan to position ourselves to be here in perpetuity, as we plan to say, well, what does it take? So let's talk about not just a kind of quote unquote spooky faith, all right, but faith that allows you to think forward, to say that if we do certain things, we know that we have a good possibility of surviving because by faith we've come this far. So that means for us that the cushion campaign it's very important. By articulating the fact that we recognize that for the nonprofit sector and for the African American cultural arts, historic preservation, community revitalization organization that we are, that we must plan to survive. And though we will continue to do everything that we do, and I want to be specific, we are known for being a grants writing operation. But every year, I say religiously in the sense that every year without fail, we apply to the state of Florida Division of Cultural Affairs, right? I don't know if he will remember this, but I can remember seeing Terry Olson at the 24-hour post office, trying to get a grant on time, meet the deadline to send a grant up to Tallahassee. That's probably at least 2 decades ago. But yes, indeed. So we write grants. Oh, absolutely. We plan and we write them. Well, this last year, for the cycle for 2021, we will not get the grant for ZORA Festival because of COVID and because the governor in his wisdom, I mean, he cut basically everything except general operating support grants. And that was just a tiny little bit. 2 years ago, the state of Florida cut the grants so tremendously that if it were not for Orange County Arts and Cultural Affairs through Orange County government, the cultural arts community in Orange County would have been really in a very serious position. And we can look forward to the fact that even though we submitted the grant for June 1, I do not expect to see that grant. I don't expect to see that grant, not at all. But being in the situation that we are, and we do know that there are people who support this organization and its mission, and that if we will galvanize ourselves to say that this is our goal over the next 12 months, we need to raise $1.5 million, not for general operating support by itself, but so that we have extra over the next 5 years. Over the next 5 years, we put that money aside so that we have a basis on which to continue. And so it's going to be very important that we share that message and that we remember that pennies make dollars and that we strive and that we move forward. But again, to me, though faith is believing in what is unseen, I think in the real world, we can see the product of faith. You can see that. You can hear that from what Miss Josephine shared. It's really, when you think about it, it really is quite, you're living, you have 7, and when she said you don't know where the next meal may be coming from, I mean, that's a reality. You don't know how you're going to get ready for school fees. You don't know, but you pray. And if it's God's will, and someone has made that comment, if you are aligned, if what you ask for is in keeping with God's will, then it's something that will manifest. Sometimes what we want is not what we need, right? And so you also have to have the strength of faith to not always think that just because you ask for it, it's what you need. So yes, indeed, we are there. Now I see that we have an audience member, Tyra. What we have been doing over the course of this time is each one of us has been sharing what faith means for us. And I welcome you to do that if you wish. Okay. All right. Or do you have the ability to unmute her, or does she, are you there? All righty. We'll give you, but as we say, no pressure, no pressure. Okay. I think I probably should take a little bit of time to talk about the upcoming festival, since several of you have mentioned the fact that it is January, that you know that it is ZORA festival time. We are doing something quite a bit different, and we're doing it because, frankly, of COVID-19. This year, we're doing what we are calling a hybrid event. It's not a word that we coined. Most everybody is saying it now. When you plan an event that is virtual as well as in person, we are doing 1, 2, 3. I think we're doing 4 events that are actually in person, and they start on Zora Neale Hurston's birthday, which is the 7th of January. We from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., and we're going to be in an outdoor setting. I have checked the weather. No rain. It may be partly cloudy and about 72 degrees, but we're in good shape for celebrating Zora Neale Hurston's birthday and sharing with you a bite of cake. Beginning at 11 o'clock, and we will be in the lot of the space right next to the Zora Neale Hurston National Museum of Fine Arts. Our master chef, Lester Cunningham, will be bringing baked cake. Now, I want to repeat what I said yesterday for those of you who were not on the session. This is not a slice of cake. It's not a wedge of cake. It is a bite of cake, so that it's probably about 2-inch squares, like what do you call it, brownies. But it is going to be homemade. That is from scratch. All right. And we want you to stop by and enjoy that. I want you to, if you would like, visit the museum. We will have social distancing. Remember, for us, we will be observing strictly the guidelines set forth by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and that means masks, it means social distancing, and it means sanitation. But because hand sanitizer, but because we are outside, we're hoping that really is going to encourage people to come by. In addition, on Saturday, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., we will unveil, so to speak, the formal exhibition called Unremembered, the Black Speculative Odyssey, and Afrofuturism, mapping the sonic imagination. That will be a multimedia exhibition. And because we are in a small space, we will have people at the door. Our docent, Cynthia Haywood, will be there to govern how people are entered. We'll have someone inside the museum to make sure that you sign in and you're able to visit. And we'll have someone that will help you at the back entrance. So we will be one way in and one way out so that people can feel comfortable in coming and enjoying that space. The St. Lawrence African Methodist Episcopal Church will also open its doors so that people can see the wonderful murals in the church. Then our next in-person activity will be Yards and Gardens Mobile Tour. The Yards and Gardens Mobile Tour, this is of Historic Eatonville. We established a Yards and Gardens Club, I believe in 2014. And gardening is really intrinsic to the Historic Eatonville community. Gardening was one of the ways, frankly, that the Calhouns promoted and helped to have parents send their children to the Hungerford School. So we have some wonderful examples. It, again, is a mobile tour. It will be by RSVP, and it's only 20 persons, because we want to be sure that we have the ability to keep, to present a program, but not compromising people's health and safety. So if you are interested in that, please go to zorafestival.org and sign up. The maximum capacity there will be 20 persons. Then we also have another in-person activity, and that's going to be in a private setting in the Bronze Kingdom. The Bronze Kingdom promotes itself as the largest collection of bronze artwork in the world. And we are so, if you're local and have not been to the Bronze Kingdom at its new location, 6464 International Drive, you are missing a treat. I'm so pleased to be able to share with you that the owner of that organization, of that museum, space has done everything to make certain that the people who come, it's a huge, huge space, but the air circulation, I was very pleased to see and make a note of what has been done to make certain that people can feel safe while they are there. We call that Afrofuturism a personal touch, and we are going to dress, for those who wish, in African elegance. We're going to have a very fine program there on Saturday, the 23rd. And then the ultimate bubble, but in person and private, we're going to the movies drive-in. So you are going to be in your car, you're going to be eating your food, but you are going to be all together with us who are going to enjoy our Saturday, the 30th of January. That first feature, 6:15, will be in the Spider-Verse. Yes, Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. You can see that I don't have any little kids at this point, but we think that that's going to be at 6:15. That'll be family friendly, and at 9:45, my younger colleagues or who are still into talking to me about date night. That is, coming to the movies at 9:45. That's going to be The Best Man. Again, going to zorafestival.org. This is online ticket sales. We are not expecting to do anything on site. I want to acknowledge our collaborative partner, the Indian Theater, because the Indian Theater has really developed expertise in presenting drive-in movie events, and we're very pleased that they are holding our hand. So those are the in-person events, but we have a very, very dynamic virtual program. Some of what I've said to you will be virtual as well, but the first virtual program, and I need to really say to you that if you are going to participate in this, and especially if you're going to purchase the birthday box, we've been told that 12 noon on Monday, the 4th of January, is the cutoff date. If you're going to purchase a birthday box, and that is a one-of-a-kind souvenir box that will have in it a half split of champagne or sparkling grape juice, and a cupcake made from scratch, homemade cupcake. And if you require gluten-free, that's available to you. That is our 130th birthday celebration. That birthday box is $130, just linking everything together, of which $42 comes to us as a tax-exempt contribution. If the $130 freight is too heavy a lift for you, then we ask you to join us at the $30 level, which gives you general admission to the party. And my colleagues are, they joke at me when I said that we're going to a party hardy, but that's exactly what we're going to do. We have remind me, Charles Morris, what do we call Mr. Ken Moore? He's called the what? Super Ken. Super Ken. We have got the DJ, and this is really, I did not know this until recently, but Ken Moore DJs for the Essence Festival in New Orleans, all right? So Super Ken is our DJ, and he has already assured me that when you join, what you're going to hear is Marvin Gaye first. All right, that's what you're going to, and then we're going to go from there. But it's going to be fun. It's absolutely going to be fun. We will have a raffle. We're doing games. Of course, we'll do toasts. We have a number of people who have already agreed that they are going to toast. For example, Trudia Harris, one of the really distinguished Hurston scholars, will be joining us. Dr. Bill Ferris, who at one time was the director for the National Endowment for the Humanities, will be toasting. He is a Mississippi native who has spent really dedicated his research and scholarly career to the study of Black people and culture. We also will have toasting us, oh dear, Valerie Boyd, the woman who did the biography Wrapped in Rainbows on Zora Neale Hurston. So we are looking forward to, and as well as Miss Josephine Fulcher Anderson will be toasting. Christopher Peace, a young man who has worked with us over a number of years. In other words, anybody who's in the party is going to have, and who has bought the birthday box, will have the ability to toast. So we are very excited about that opportunity as well. I should mention to you that if you would like to join an online course that the University of Central Florida is offering, you don't have to register as a student, but if you would like to, we used to audit, that's a word that we used to use back in the day. I don't know what is used now, but if you want to sit in on a course at your leisure, and as you would, then if you go to Zora Festival and look for and click on the online course button, you will see just a wealth of information accessible to you. We're so proud, frankly, that the University of Central Florida has offered this one credit course. I mean, to me, it's a quote big deal to have a university say that what we're doing is worthwhile academically, right? So we have the online course. We also have the conference, the Afrofuturism Conference, that will take place on the 29th and 30th. And I'm really saving what I would say is, I don't want to say it's the best for last, but certainly it's something that is a very great concern to those of us who are women, and that is the Africa-America Women's Economic Forum, which will take place on Thursday, the 29th. Now, from 8 a.m. to 1:45 p.m., and you might say, what in the world, why are you starting so early? That's because a number of our presenters are, as we say, on the motherland, and on the mother continent. We have a number of people who are presenting from Africa, all right? So they are 7 hours time differential, and so we are starting at 8 a.m. and we'll conclude at 1:45. Again, all of this information is available at zorafestival.org. I also want to say to you that there's one other session that I hope that you will plan to attend, because in the spirit of practical and pragmatism that Zora Neale Hurston represents, we are going to be featuring a 3-series program on race and economic realities in 21st century America. And on Tuesday, the 26th of January, beginning at 7 o'clock in the evening Eastern, Dr. William Darity Jr. will be presenting his work on reparations and what that can mean and what it should engender in terms of conversation amongst us. Now I've been given the high sign. We are winding down. I want to again say to you how grateful we are at PEC that you have embraced this in the public square. I want to remind you that at the first of the year, you'll be able to click on and send people who have not participated in real time. They will be able to enjoy and see what we have been able to do. I want to wish you all a happy and prosperous new year, a safe new year, and say to you to visit us at www.preserveeatonville.org, even after festival, so that you can keep up with us. Again, thank you so much. Abarigani.